Hello, grade 9 students. Let us now discuss zero and negative exponents. So, the most essential learning competency applies the laws involving positive integral exponents to zero and negative integral exponents. And we have also the learning objectives here. Recall the laws of exponents. Simplify expressions with zero and negative integral exponents. So, okay, let us now try to recall the laws of exponents. So, in number 1, okay, if a and b are real numbers and m and n are positive integers, then for number 1 product law, if we're going to multiply, yes, two powers at the same base, okay, then we simply add the exponent. So a raised to m times a raised to n means equals, okay, keep the base a raised to m plus n. We add the exponents. Okay, examples: a to the p power times a cube means a to the 5 plus 3 equals a raised to 8 power. Okay, y times y to the 4th power equals y raised to 1 plus 4. So the answer is y to the p power. 3 squared times 3 cube means we add the exponents because they have the same base. So keep the base, add the exponents 2 plus 3, which is 5. So the answer is 3 to the p power means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 243. Okay. Another number 2 power of a power law. If you raise the power to another power, just multiply the exponents. A raised to m raised to n, okay, is equal to a raised to mn. Example: a to the p power to the 3rd power, or simply a to the p to the 3rd, means you just multiply 5 and 3, which is 15. So the answer is a to the 15th power. X to the 7th power means you just multiply the exponent of x, which is 1 times 7, 7. So the x to the 7th power is the answer. 4 cubed square means you just multiply 3 and 2. 3 times 2 is 6, so the answer is 4 to the 6th power. Okay, 4096. Number 3, power of a product law. If we raise a product to a power, we just simply distribute the exponent m to each product. So that means ab raised to m is equal to a raised to m times b raised to m. Okay, example: a squared b to the pip means a to the 10th b to the pip power. abc cube means a cube b cube c cube. Quantity 2c cube means 2 cube c cube, or simply 8c cube. Okay, that's power of a product law. Number 4, power of a quotient law. Okay, if we have here a over b raised to m, that means we're going to distribute m to both a and b, dividend and the divisor. So it's equivalent to a raised to m over b raised to m. B should not be equal to 0. Example: a over b raised to the p power means a to the p over b to the p power. W over x squared means w squared over x squared. 5 over 7 cube means 5 cube over 7 cube, or 125 over 343. And then we have also here quotient law. If we divide two numbers, if we divide two powers with the same base, okay, we just subtract the exponents. In product law, we just add exponents. We multiply two powers with the same base. If we divide two powers with the same base, subtract exponents. Right. Example: a to the pip divided by a cube means a raised to 5 minus 3 a squared. X to the 7th divided by x squared means x to the pip power. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 to the 9 divided by 5 to the 4th power is, we subtract 9 and 4. That's 5. 5 to the pip power is 3125. Right, so these are the 5 laws of exponents. Okay, we're just having a recall. So because this was already discussed to you in your lower years, I think in grade 7, right? So we proceed to the next law. Aside from the 5 laws of exponent, okay, we have another law, the zero and negative exponents. Let's have a T. So given a raised to m over a raised to n equals a raised to m minus n if m is greater than n and a is not equal to 0, but when m is less than n, then a raised to 0 over a raised to n is equal to a raised to 0 minus n. That means a raised to, here, negative n, where a is not equal to 0. Therefore, a raised to negative n is equal to 1 over a raised to n, where a is not equal to 0. So this is what we call the negative exponent law, right? If we raise a number or variable to the negative number, then it will become a fraction wherein the numerator is 1 over a raised to n from the original given. Okay, we just remove the negative part, so it becomes positive. A over a raised to n. A raised to negative n equals 1 over a raised to n. Examples: number 1, a raised to negative 3 means 1 over a cubed. X raised to negative 9 means 1 over x to the 9th power. 2 raised to negative 3 means 1 over 2 cubed, or 1 over 8. You know? So pag negative yung exponent, gawing fraction, yung a raised to negative 3 magiging a cubed sa denominator, positive na yung exponents. So similarly, 1 over a raised to negative n is equal to 1 over a, a raised to n equals 1 times a raised to n over 1. That means a raised to n. So ito yung kabaliktaran naman. If we have a negative exponent in the denominator, then it will become the numerator with the positive exponents. Okay, so therefore 1 over a raised to negative n is equal to a raised to n. Example: 1 over a raised to negative 3 equals a cubed. 1 over x raised to negative 9 equals x to the 9th. 1 over 2 raised to negative 3 is 2 cubed, or equal to 8. Yeah. That is what we call the negative integral exponent law. Another law is about the zero exponent law. We know that a raised to m over a raised to n is a raised to m minus n. We will subtract exponents because they have the same base. If m is greater than n and a is not equal to 0, when m is equal to n, then a raised to m over a raised to m means we will subtract m by m, that is 0. So therefore a raised to m over a raised to m is equal to a raised to 0 is equal to 1, right? Since a raised to m and a raised to m are the same, you simplify that as equivalent to 1. And applying the quotient power law, a raised to m over a raised to m is a raised to 0. Therefore, any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. Okay? That's what we call the zero exponent law. Any number, any variable raised to 0 is 1. Even 1 million raised to 0 is equal to 1. So example, p raised to 0 equals 1. 9 raised to 0 equals 1. 1000 raised to 0 equals 1. X over y raised to 0 is still 1. Okay. A raised to 7 over a raised to 7, subtract exponents. A raised to 0 equals 1. Same is true with 3 raised to 10 over 3 raised to 10 is 3 raised to 10 minus 10 is 3 raised to 0 equals 1. Any number raised to 0 equals 1. Okay, let us now learn how to simplify expressions with zero and negative integral exponents. In simplifying expressions with zero and negative integral exponents, we must take note of the different laws of exponents. Examples: simplify the following expressions. Number 1, okay, any number raised to 0 is 1. Y raised to negative 8 is equal to 1 over y raised to 8. Yes. Okay, negative exponents become a fraction. Numerator is 1, and then negative 8 in the denominator will become positive. 3 raised to 0 equals 1. Any number raised to 0 is 1. How about this? 4 raised to 0 times 5 raised to negative 2. 4 raised to 0 is 1. 5 raised to negative 2 is 1 over 5 squared. So that means 1 over 25. Yes, right? 5 squared na, magiging positive na dun sa denominator yung exponent na negative 2. Okay, next, number 5, 2 raised to negative 2 becomes 1 over 2 squared, or 1/4. Is equal to 1/4. Number 6, m raised to negative 3 times m raised to negative 2. Let us add the exponents. That's equivalent to m raised to negative 5. Wait. M raised to negative 5. And since m has a negative exponent, that will be equivalent to applying the negative exponent law, 1 over m to the 5th power. How about this? N cubed raised to negative 4. Okay, power of product law. You raise a power to another power, just multiply the exponent. So 3 times negative 4 is n raised to negative 12. But n raised to negative 12 can still be simplified applying the negative exponents law. It's equivalent to 1 over n to the 12th power. Number 8, xy raised to negative 5. Okay, applying the negative exponents law. This will become 1 over xy to the 5th power. But still, we can substitute this as a product. Yes, power of a product. Yes, power of a product law. That means distribute 5 to x and y. So 1 over x to the 5th, y to the 5th power. How about this? H raised to negative 3, h over 2 squared. Okay. Yes, power of a quotient. Power of a quotient ba? Yes, quotient law. We just, again, distribute the exponent 2 to negative 3 and the exponent of 2, which is 1. So this will become h raised to negative 6 over 4. 2 square. 2 square means 4. But since we have here a negative exponent, h raised to negative 6, so this will be put in the denominator, and the negative 6 exponent will become positive. So 1 over 4h 6 to the power. 1 over 4h to the 6th power. Yun yung answer. And number 10, since negative ang exponent, so this will become 1 over quantity 4abc cubed. And then distribute yung power 3. That means 1 over 4 cubed, a cubed, b cubed, c cubed. And 4 cubed is 64. So 1 over 64 a cubed, b cubed, c cubed is the answer for number 10. So for our exercise, answer the following. Number 1. Okay, you can do it orally. What's your answer? Correct. A to the 13th. Number 2. Y to the 15th power. In number 1, we added exponents. In number 2, we multiplied the exponents. And in number 3, we distributed exponents, r to the 4th, s to the 4th. Also in number 4, we distributed exponents to the quotient over u. And in number 5, we subtracted the exponents because they have the same base. You subtract exponents when we divide. Right, next. Find the exact value of the following expressions. Yan. So any number raised to 0 is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Right? Ito, multiply mo. Add exponents yan. And then negative. 2 raised to negative 5. So 1 over 32. Yan. 1 over 2 raised to the 5th power, 1 over 32. So number 3 naman, 1. Okay, since the denominator, there is a negative exponent, you put that in the numerator, it will become 3 squared na. So 1 plus 3 squared. 1 plus 9 is 10. Then this is power. Raise a power to another power. Power to a power law. Multiply the exponent. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. 9 squared or 81. Diba? 100 raised to 0 is 1. Dito naman 1 raised to negative 6. So 1 over... Okay, wait. I think 1 pa rin ang answer. Kasi 1 raised to negative 6 still 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Other. Simplify the following expressions. Okay, lahat 0. So 1 plus 1, 2 minus 1. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3. Take the answer for number 1 is 3. Yes. Tapos dito, since negative ang exponents, we can now interchange the position of x and y. Y sa taas, x sa baba. So 2y to the 5th x cubed over x cubed. Yun, di ba? Interchange pag negative. Dito naman, okay, yung a pupunta rin sa taas. Tapos yung 3 square pupunta sa baba. 5 doon pa rin sa baba. So ano, 5 times 3, 50. Wait. A to the 7 over 3 cubed, 27 times 5. So ano, a to the 7 over 135 z to the 6th power. Ito naman, number 4, that's 1. Then distribute 4, negative 48, c, 27, 28. And then 4 raised to negative 2, punta sa taas, 8, 16 should say. Also this, d to the 6 in the numerator. E to the 10th power remain in the denominator. So the answer is 16. Okay, c to the 28th power, d to the 6, b over b to the 48th power, e to the 10th power. And number 5, can you answer that? 10 seconds. Okay, what's your answer? Okay, in here we can subtract 3 minus 5, or okay, or we can just simply subtract in the denominator. 5 minus 3 is 2, so 2 squared sa baba, that means 4. This is 1. 4f to the 15 sa baba. Pero may ano pa dito. Wait. 2 squared, so 4. Dito negative 4, 7. F to the 7, F to negative 14. Bale, 29. F to the 29 sa baba. 4F to the 20. 1 over 4F to the 29th power. Okay, thank you for listening. That ends our lesson on zero and negative exponents. Goodbye. See you again next time.